Hello, this is Mitchell Cirker here. We are making blueberry lattice top pie. This is a pie tutorial for Jeffrey Winters. And we are going to first begin by making our crust. And you won't believe how easy this is, incidentally. The first thing we have to do is get our dry ingredients together. So, what we have to do is we have to have 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. Now, to measure, you spoon this into the cup like that. This is better than the other system whereby sometimes they have a system called dip and sweep, where you stick the thing in and then you scoop off the excess. This particular recipe doesn't want you to do that. Therefore, do not do that. If the recipe says spoon it into the cup, guess what? You're going to be spooning it into the cup. I mean it. Then, so what we do is, what I generally do is I like to sort of tap out like that, get that, and then you just do one quick like that. Okay, that's 1 cup. We're going to do the very, very same thing again. But some recipes direct you to sift before this. This recipe does not, but what you can do is you can stir to aerate the flour the way I'm doing right now. Now, the next thing we're going to do is another cup here, just like we did before. This is to show you how to do this. What you do is you fill this up to overflowing, the way I am doing it now. You fill it to overflowing, and then as soon as it gets just to that point, which it will, any second now, you would take your knife, tap like that, and then level it off. Okay, that's 2 cups. We still need 1/2 cup more, and then we've got our flour completely done. So again, always spoon it into the cup. This is in order so that the measurement can be accurate according to the way it was tested when the recipe was actually constructed. These recipes are tested, and this particular recipe says don't do dip and sweep, so we are not going to do dip and sweep, just so you know. All right, we got our flour ready. Okay, so now the rest of what we got, let's go over to the food processor, because the first thing we need to do is to combine our dry ingredients. I have in here our 2 1/2 cups of flour with a tablespoon of sugar. We're going to add to that now 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. Now you're saying, what the hell are you doing with baking powder in this recipe? This is to make the dough easier to work with when rolling, and also it tends to puff up and stick to the pan better, actually. It adheres in the pan. All right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to pulse this a few times just to mix these ingredients together. Just a few times is all you really need to do. Okay? All right, and the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our fat, which in this case, coincidentally, happens to be 2 sticks of butter. That's a lot of butter. And this has been chilled and in the freezer, mind you. This has been chilled in the freezer for about 30 to 45 minutes in the freezer. You can do it longer, but it needs to be very, very cold. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pulse this on and off. Pat something to the top of the machine. About 4 or 5 or 6 times. One more. Now we're going to lift this off and make sure that all the flour, and we're going to check this. It should be, the fat should actually be, if you're looking very carefully at this, the size of small peas, actually, and it should be almost like, and it's just about there. Just about there. It looks almost like breadcrumbs. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what the texture should be like. All right, now that we've got that, the next thing we have to do is take this off. 1 second. Now, this is the part that people usually screw up. Hold on 1 second. Let me get the freezer here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add this water by tablespoons. Oh, for heaven's sakes, because look what I forgot to add. I forgot to add the sugar. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to add the sugar now. I don't think it's going to make a damn bit of difference. So, the sugar is in there. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this